Time is one of the most valuable gifts we've been given, yet it's often the one we squander the most. Every second, every moment is a fragment of eternity handed to us not to waste, but to cherish. Yet how often do we let time slip through our fingers as if it were infinite? We live like we're guaranteed tomorrow, but the truth is we are only promised the breath we're taking right now. Life is finite, and the clock of our existence is always ticking. Each tick is a call to act, to love, to give, to live fully. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean. Each wave that comes to the shore represents a moment. Once that wave crashes and recedes, it's gone forever. You can't reach into the ocean and pull it back. That's how time works. The seconds you have right now are yours to use, but once they pass, they are forever etched in history beyond your grasp and beyond your control. The question is, what are you doing with the moments you have? Are you investing them in something meaningful, or are you letting them slip away unnoticed? So many of us fall into the trap of thinking we have all the time in the world. We say, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll apologize next week, or I'll start that dream someday. But let me tell you, someday isn't on the calendar. It's a mirage that keeps us distracted while the days, weeks, and years roll by. How often do we look back and think, if only I had started sooner? How often do we realize too late that the things we put off were the things that truly mattered? We are surrounded by distractions, phones, social media, endless to-do lists, and the pursuit of material success can easily consume our time. These things aren't inherently wrong, but when they take over, they blind us to what's truly important. How many moments have we missed with loved ones because we were too busy scrolling or chasing after temporary pleasures? How many sunsets have we ignored? How many quiet moments have we squandered because we were too preoccupied with what doesn't truly satisfy? Time is a canvas, and every second is a brushstroke. What kind of picture are you painting? Are you creating a masterpiece filled with joy, love, and purpose, or are you scribbling away carelessly, leaving behind a mess of regret? Your life is a reflection of how you spend your moments. Each choice you make, each action you take is an investment in the legacy you leave behind. But here's the beauty of this gift. It's never too late to start valuing your time. As long as you're breathing, you have the opportunity to turn things around. You don't need to wait for a new year, a new month, or even a new day to start making the most of your moments. Begin now. Take a deep breath and remind yourself that this very second is a gift. Use it wisely. Reach out to someone you love. Begin working on that dream you've been putting off. Take a step, however small, toward the life you've been called to live. When we truly understand the value of time, we stop living casually. We start living intentionally. We stop taking people for granted. We become present, fully aware of the beauty and the fragility of each moment. We forgive quicker, we laugh louder, we love deeper because we know that time waits for no one. Life is not a dress rehearsal. There are no do-overs, no rewinds, no second takes. This is it. You've been entrusted with something precious time. Don't waste it. Don't let it slip through your hands unnoticed. Honor it by living fully, by loving passionately, and by making each moment count. Because when it's all said and done, you won't regret the moments you spent cherishing life. You'll regret the ones you let pass by. Gratitude is the posture of the soul that recognizes the beauty in the present moment. Yet, so often we find ourselves caught in a cycle of yearning for what was or longing for what might be. We either sit in regret over the past or worry about the uncertainties of the future. But real life happens in the now. The present is the only space where we can act, feel, love, and live. The question is, are you awake to it? Are you fully embracing the gifts that surround you in this moment, or are you distracted by what you cannot change and what you cannot control? The truth is, we live in a world that teaches us to seek more success, more wealth, more recognition. While ambition has its place, it often blinds us to the blessings that are already within our grasp. We become so focused on the horizon that we miss the sunrise unfolding before us. Gratitude shifts our focus. It reminds us to look at the life we have and say, this is enough not because we've settled, but because we understand the power of appreciating what is here right now. Consider for a moment the simple things, the warmth of the sun on your face, the sound of laughter, the feeling of a hug, the taste of your favorite meal. These are not small things, they are life itself. Yet, how often do we rush past them? Too busy to notice, too distracted to savor. Gratitude calls us back. It tells us to pause, to breathe, and to see the miracles in the mundane. The present moment is a gift and it's fragile. How often have we heard someone say, I didn't realize how much I had until it was gone? Perhaps you've said it yourself. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Gratitude teaches us to value what we have before it slips away. It urges us to hold our loved ones closer, to speak kindness while we can, to live fully in the now because tomorrow is not promised. Gratitude also has the power to transform how we see our challenges. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect or ignoring pain, but it does mean acknowledging that even in difficulty, there is something to be thankful for. Perhaps it's the strength you gain through the struggle, the lessons you learn in the process, or the people who stand by your side. Gratitude reframes the narrative. It allows us to see not just the problem, but the growth and resilience that emerge from it. When you live with a heart full of gratitude, you approach life differently. You stop taking things for granted. You start saying thank you more often to others, to yourself, and to the Creator of all things. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it's an action. It's choosing to focus on what's good, even when life feels hard. It's speaking words of appreciation, showing acts of kindness, and giving your time to what truly matters. Gratitude also cultivates joy. You see, joy isn't found in what we acquire or achieve, it's found in how we perceive the world around us. When you're grateful, your eyes are open to the abundance of beauty that surrounds you. You stop seeing life as something to be endured and start experiencing it as something to be celebrated. This doesn't mean every moment be easy, but it does mean every moment can be meaningful. The present moment is fleeting, but its impact can be eternal. The way you choose to live in this moment shapes the legacy you leave behind. Will you leave behind memories of someone who complained about what they didn't have or someone who celebrated what they did? Will people remember you as someone who was always chasing after more or someone who paused to cherish what was already there? You don't have to wait for a perfect moment to feel grateful. Gratitude isn't about having everything, it's about seeing the value in everything. The breath you just took is a gift. The person sitting next to you is a gift. The challenges you're facing, yes, even those are gifts in disguise. When you start living with the spirit of gratitude, life doesn't just happen to you, it happens through you. You become a vessel of joy, a reflection of grace, and a reminder to others that this moment right here is worth celebrating. So pause, look around, feel the weight of the present moment in your hands, and remember, gratitude turns what we have into enough and transforms this fleeting life into something extraordinary. Don't miss the gift that is now. Purpose is the compass of life, the reason you get out of bed in the morning with a fire in your soul. It's the deeper why behind everything you do. Without purpose, life can feel aimless, like a ship adrift at sea, tossed by the waves with no destination in sight. But when you live with purpose, everything changes. Your days gain meaning, your actions hold weight, and even the smallest tasks become infused with significance. The question is, have you discovered your purpose, or are you wandering, hoping to stumble upon it by chance? Purpose isn't something reserved for the extraordinary or the privileged. It's woven into the fabric of every life. Each of us has a unique contribution to make, a calling to fulfill, light to shine in the world. But too often, we bury our purpose beneath layers of fear, doubt, and distraction. We listen to the voices that tell us we're not good enough, that our dreams are too big, or that our time is past. Let me remind you, if you are still breathing, your purpose is still alive. Finding purpose begins with self-reflection. Who are you? What stirs your heart? What breaks it? What gifts and talents have been placed within you? These questions aren't just philosophical, they are practical steps toward uncovering the path you're meant to walk. Purpose is often born in the places where your passion meets the world's needs. It's not just about what you want for yourself, but how you can serve others and leave an impact that outlasts you. But let's be honest, living with purpose is not always easy. It requires courage. It demands that you step out of your comfort zone and take risks. It challenges you to let go of the approval of others and focus on what truly matters. The journey toward purpose is rarely a straight line. There will be detours, obstacles, and moments when you question if you're on the right path. Yet it's in those moments of doubt and difficulty that your purpose is refined. Like gold in the fire, it's the trials that shape and strengthen you. Purpose also requires perseverance. It's not a fleeting feeling or a temporary high, it's a commitment to something bigger than yourself. There will be days when the work feels thankless, when the vision seems distant, and when the weight of responsibility feels too heavy to carry. But purpose whispers, keep going, to remind you that what you're building is worth the effort, even if you don't see the results right away. Purpose is the anchor that holds you steady when the storms of life rage. One of the most beautiful things about living with purpose is that it inspires others. When you walk in your calling, you give others permission to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. Your passion becomes a spark that lights the fire in someone else's heart. And purpose is not selfish, it's generative. It multiplies. And the more you pour into it, the more it pours back into you and the people around you. Living a purposeful life doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes or face setbacks. But it does mean those mistakes and setbacks will have context. They'll be part of a bigger story, a narrative of growth, learning, and redemption. When you know your purpose, even your failures become fuel. They teach you, strengthen you, and propel you forward. If you're still searching for your purpose, don't be discouraged. The journey itself is part of the process. Take it one step at a time. Pay attention to the things that ignite your passion. Listen to the whispers in your soul. And trust that your purpose is unfolding, even when you can't see the whole picture. Purpose transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It turns work into worship, tasks into triumphs, and lives into legacies. When you live with purpose, you no longer feel like you're just passing time, you feel like you're building something eternal. So don't settle for mere existence. Don't let fear, doubt, or distractions keep you from discovering and fulfilling the reason you were created. Step boldly into your purpose and watch as your life becomes a beacon of hope, strength, and inspiration for the world around you. Life is meant to be lived in connection. We were never created to walk this journey alone, yet so many of us move through life feeling isolated, misunderstood, or disconnected. Relationships are the threads that weave meaning, joy, and purpose into our lives. They are not just a luxury, they are a necessity. But how often do we take them for granted? How often do we assume there will always be more time to say, I love you, or I'm sorry, or thank you? Let me tell you, there is no guarantee of tomorrow. The time to nurture and cherish the relationships in your life is now. The people around you, your family, your friends, your community are gifts. They are not perfect, just as you are not perfect, but they are the ones who help shape you, support you, and walk beside you. Yet in the busyness of life, it's so easy to neglect these relationships. We tell ourselves we're too busy, too tired, or too overwhelmed to make the call, send the text, or spend the time. But when we allow busyness to rob us of connection, we lose one of life's greatest treasures. Love is not just something you feel, it's something you do. It's shown in the way you listen, in the way you forgive, in the way you prioritize the people who matter most. It's in the small gestures, the smile, the hug, the shared meal that remind others they are seen, valued, and loved. True relationships are not built on grand moments, but on the consistent daily acts of kindness and care. But let's be honest, relationships can be messy. They require vulnerability, patience, and effort. They demand that we confront our own flaws and extend grace to others when they show theirs. And yes, there will be times when people hurt you, disappoint you, or even walk away. That's the risk of love. But the alternative, living a life closed off and disconnected, is far worse. Because while relationships can bring pain, they are also the source of our greatest joy and healing. To build meaningful relationships, we must be intentional. It's not enough to simply exist in the same space as others. We have to engage, to invest, to show up fully. This means putting away distractions, being present in the moment, and truly listening when someone speaks. It means celebrating their victories, grieving their losses, and walking with them through the highs and lows of life. Relationships thrive on attention and care, and when we neglect them, they wither. Forgiveness is also essential in any relationship. None of us are perfect. We all fall short. Holding on to grudges or bitterness only creates barriers that keep us from the connection we crave. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what someone did or pretending it didn't hurt. It means releasing yourself from the prison of resentment and choosing to prioritize love over anger. When you forgive, you free yourself as much as you free the other person. And let me tell you, the quality of your relationships has a profound impact on the quality of your life. Success, wealth, and achievements mean little if you have no one to share them with. It's the people in your life who make the journey worthwhile. When you're surrounded by love and connection, even the hardest seasons feel lighter. And when life is going well, their presence amplifies your joy. You also have a responsibility to cultivate relationships that uplift and inspire you. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth, who speak truth into your life, and who challenge you to be your best self. And in turn, be that kind of person for others. Relationships are a two-way street. What you pour into others is often what you receive in return. So let me challenge you, don't wait for a special occasion to tell someone you love them. Don't assume people know how much they mean to you. Say it. Show it. Invest in the relationships that matter and let go of the ones that drain you or hold you back. Life is too short to waste on shallow or toxic connections. Focus on building a circle of love, trust, and mutual respect. At the end of your life, it won't be the titles, possessions, or accolades you remember. It will be the moments you shared with the people who mattered most. So prioritize connection, lean into love. Build relationships that enrich your life and the lives of others, because when all is said and done, it's not the things we've accomplished, but the people we've loved that define our legacy. Life is a canvas, and every day is an opportunity to create something beautiful. The dreams and aspirations within you are not there by accident. They are whispers of possibility, urging you to step into the fullness of your potential. Yet too often we allow fear, doubt, and excuses to hold us back. We tell ourselves that the timing isn't right, that we don't have the resources, or that we're not ready. But let me tell you, there is no perfect moment to start. The only moment you have is now, and it's more than enough to begin. Dreaming is easy, but acting on those dreams requires courage. It's one thing to imagine a better life, to see a vision of what could be. It's another thing entirely to take the first step toward making it a reality. That first step might feel small, but it is monumental because it breaks the cycle of inaction. It tells fear you don't have the final say. It tells doubt I am moving forward anyway, and with each step you take, the impossible starts to look possible. You may think you need all the answers before you begin, but the truth is, clarity often comes in motion. As you start to pursue your dreams, doors you never expected will open, and opportunities you couldn't have planned for will appear. But none of that happens until you take that first step. Waiting for the stars to align is a recipe for regret. The stars will never align perfectly, but they don't have to. What matters is your willingness to start with what you have, where you are. Pursuing your dreams isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Along the way, you will stumble, you will face setbacks, and you will make mistakes. But those moments are not failures, they are lessons. Every stumble teaches you how to walk stronger. Every setback builds your resilience. Every mistake refines your path. If you're waiting for a guarantee that everything will work out perfectly, you'll be waiting forever. But if you're willing to embrace the journey, you'll discover that the process itself is just as valuable as the destination. Dreaming big often comes with its share of challenges. There will be voices, both external and internal, that try to convince you to play it safe, to settle for less, to stay in your comfort zone. But comfort zones are not where growth happens. They are not where legacies are built. If you want to create something extraordinary, you have to be willing to step into the unknown. It's scary, yes, but it's also exhilarating. It's where you discover what you're truly capable of. And let me remind you, your dreams are not just about you. They are about the lives you will touch, the people you will inspire, and the difference you will make. When you step into your purpose, you create ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. Your courage gives others permission to dream big too. Your determination becomes a beacon of hope for those watching from the sidelines. Never underestimate the impact of your obedience to the call within you. But dreaming big doesn't mean neglecting the present. It means infusing the present with purpose. It means taking the ordinary moments and turning them into steps toward the extraordinary. Every task, no matter how small, is a brushstroke on the canvas of your dreams. Don't despise the small beginnings. They are the foundation of great things. Celebrate the progress, no matter how slow it feels, because progress is proof that you are moving forward. So what is the dream that's been stirring in your heart? What vision keeps you awake at night, imagining the possibilities? Whatever it is, it's not too late to pursue it. You haven't missed your chance. As long as you're breathing, there is still time to create, to build, to strive. Don't let fear or excuses rob you of the life you're capable of living. Take the step, write the book, start the business, build the relationship. Whatever it is, begin today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. The world is waiting for what only you can bring. Your dream is not just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. And that journey, my friend, is the most beautiful adventure of all. Life is a story, and every choice you make writes another line in the narrative. The question is, what kind of story are you telling? Each day offers you the opportunity to take ownership of your life and choose the path that aligns with your deepest values and dreams. Ownership doesn't mean controlling every outcome. It means taking responsibility for how you respond, how you grow, and how you shape your future. Too many people live as though life is happening to them, rather than realizing that life is happening through them. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the author of your story. Taking ownership of your life begins with recognizing that your past does not define you. It may have shaped you, it may have taught you, and it may have scarred you, but it does not hold the pen for your future. Whatever mistakes you've made, whatever challenges you face, today is an opportunity to turn the page and start a new chapter. Blaming your circumstances, your upbringing, or other people might feel justified, but it keeps you stuck. Ownership says, I can't change what happened, but I can choose what happens next. Choice is a powerful thing. Every moment presents you with choices about how you think, how you act, and how you treat others. Ownership is about making those choices consciously and intentionally. It's about asking yourself, is this decision moving me closer to the life I want or further away? It's about aligning your actions with your vision and refusing to let distractions or excuses derail you. But let's be clear, taking ownership of your life doesn't mean you won't face obstacles. Life will test you. It will throw challenges in your path, and there will be times when things feel unfair. Ownership is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about facing those challenges head on and refusing to let them define you. It's about finding solutions instead of dwelling on problems, and about persevering when the road gets tough. You may not control the storm, but you control how you weather it. One of the greatest acts of ownership is taking responsibility for your own happiness. Too often we place the burden of our happiness on other people or external circumstances. We think I'll be happy when I get the promotion, when I find the right partner, when I have more money, but happiness is not something that happens to you. It's something you create. It's found in the way you choose to see the world and the gratitude you cultivate and in the joy you find in the small everyday moments. Ownership says I am responsible for my own fulfillment. Ownership also requires honesty. It means looking in the mirror and acknowledging where you've fallen short, where you've let fear or laziness hold you back, and where you've made choices that didn't serve you. This kind of self-reflection isn't easy, but it's necessary. You can't fix what you won't face. Ownership says, I may not like everything I see, but I have the power to change it. It's about trading excuses for action and self-pity for self-empowerment. Another critical aspect of ownership is taking care of your mind, body, and soul. You only get one life, and how you treat yourself matters. Ownership means prioritizing your health, setting boundaries, and making time for the things that nourish your spirit. It's not selfish to care for yourself, it's essential. When you take ownership of your well-being, you show up stronger and more present for the people and purposes that matter most to you. Ownership also extends to how you impact others. The legacy you leave is not just about what you accomplish, but about how you make people feel. Are you living in a way that uplifts, inspires, and encourages? Are you using your gifts and influence to make a difference? Ownership isn't just about what you take responsibility for, it's also about what you give back. It's about choosing to live a life that reflects the values and principles you hold dear. Ultimately, ownership is about freedom. It's about freeing yourself from the limitations of blame, regret, and fear, and stepping fully into the power of choice and accountability. It's not always easy, and there will be moments when you stumble. But each day is an opportunity to stand back up, recommit to your vision, and write the story of your life with intention and purpose. You have the power to shape your life no matter where you've been or what you face. The pen is in your hand. So take ownership, make the hard choices, do the inner work, and live a life that, when it's all said and done, you can look back on with pride, knowing you gave it everything you had. This is your story, make it one worth telling.